Hola, 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 hola. Ok, perfecto. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you again. How have you been? I hope you're doing well. We have at the beginning some technical issues, but the problem is fixed already. All right. Today we're going to continue learning how to calculate the surface area of pyramids, cones, and spheres. And this topic, as I told you already, this is not so big complicated. Oh yeah. Okay, later, Alexis. Okay, in the last class, I sent you the copy, what will be the generalities of the surface area of the pyramids and cones. As soon as you can see how we can calculate these situations. Okay, buenos días, Marcela. Well, as soon as you can see the surface area of the pyramid, uh, I know. Thanks for letting me know, Maria. Um, as soon as you can see in the surface area of the pyramid, we can calculate that one, multiply the formula that will be equal the area of the base plus 1/2 the perimeter multiplied by the slant height. Remember that slant height is the lateral height that we're going to have in the picture of the pyramid, and at the same time, the slant height that will be the lateral side of the cone. All right. So at the moment, if we to apply those formulas, we have to make sure must to identify what will be the base and actually identify what will be the slant height. Okay. And at the same time, I know you don't have this information already, but we have a sphere over here, and we to learn how to calculate the area of the sphere. What is the definition of the sphere? If we can call this one like a circle in three-dimensional, in 3D motion. I mean, if you see, we have the entire circle over here, and we have two inner diameters. For that reason, this is a 3D circle, so that we call an sphere. And how we can calculate the area of this sphere? Okay, the area of this sphere is multiplying 4 times pi square radius. Why 4 times? Because if you count the entire circles inside the sphere, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 directions, 4 vertices. That's why at the moment we're going to calculate the area of the sphere, it's almost the same area than the circle. What is the difference? The difference is in this case, in the surface area of the sphere, the number 4 will be multiplying because we have four vertices. 1, 2, 3, and 4 vertices. That's why we have the formula for the surface area of the sphere. Not big deal, not complicated. Remember, pi is a constant value who has a value of 3.1416. Or if you wish, you can apply the entire values or the scientific calculator, and we're going to get the result. Okay, just to explain you already. Now we can continue with the class. All right. So in the first problem mentioned, find the surface area of the pyramid and cone. Round to the nearest whole number. What does that mean? In this case, the problem asking for the whole number. For example, if the answer of the first problem were, for example, 25.3 square inches, and because the problem says to the nearest whole number, well, we can round in 25. But for example, if we have 25.7, the nearest whole number will be 26. Why are we going to do that? Because the problem demands we're going to use that situation. If the problem says only find the surface area of the area, pyramid, cone, prince, or cylinder, and it says only that one, we're going to take a pattern like using two numbers after the decimal point. Okay, but in this case, the problem demands, all right, find the surface area, but this time we're going to round to the nearest whole number. Okay, let's going to apply that situation, okay? So if you have doubts or questions, don't hesitate to let me know. In the first one, um, in the first option, as soon as you can see, okay, I'm not sure if that will be enough. So, okay, the first thing that we have to do in this problem is make sure we have the entire data. I mean, make sure if we have the area of the base, the perimeters, and the slant height. But what is the first thing that we have to do? Well, the first thing that we have to do in this situation is trying to looking for the slant height. The slant height, that's supposed to be the lateral height that we're going to have in the pyramid, and at the same time, the lateral height that we're going to have in the cone. For that reason, if you see, we have two red lines in the shape of the letter L. What is the beginning of this situation? I'm going to draw these two lines um, outside on this pyramid, and I'm going to form a right triangle, okay? A right triangle. Why? Because this hypotenuse, the moment we to connect this hypotenuse, the hypotenuse will be the value of the slant height. That's why it's so important to identify what will be the measures. This is going to be the slant height. What will be the height of this triangle? That will be um, 25 inches, okay? And the base of this triangle, as soon as you can see in the black part, has a measure of 15 units, all right? 15 units. Always, 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 the base of this triangle will be located at the midpoint, or I mean, in the center of this base of the pyramid. For example, if I have over here around 100 inches, the red base of this right triangle, that will be the half. I mean 50 and so on. How we can find out this slant height? Simple, remember, we can apply the Pythagorean theorem. What is the Pythagorean theorem? Remember, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. In this case, the letter C will have the value of the slant height. That will be L squared equals value from 8. We can call, it doesn't, well, in this case, we're going to call, we're going to take the smaller value. But remember, in the Pythagorean theorem, the order of the factors doesn't affect the final result. So we have 15 inches at the second power plus 25 inches at the second power. Remember, at the moment we to apply Pythagorean theorems, just for a strongly recommendation, right? The smaller value will be 8, the middle one will be, and the greatest value will be the hypotenuse. But remember, in the arithmetic properties, the order of the factors doesn't affect the final result, okay? For that reason, we have 15 squared plus 25 squared. That will be L squared equals, the value will be 850 square inches. But remember, we are not looking for what will be the value from L squared. We're looking for what will be the value from L. For that reason, we're going to take square root in both sides. For that reason, the L value will be the square root of 150, and that will be 29.15. 29.15 inches. This is going to be the value from the slant height of this pyramid, okay? What will be the next step? The next step, because we have already the value of the slant height, we have to looking for what will be the value from beta and what will be the value from the perimeter. Remember, beta represents the area of the base. Okay, guys, I have a question for you. What will be the shape of the base of this pyramid? Mhm. What is the base of the pyramid? It will
A
be,
square.
that will be a square. It's easy to identify because the base and height have the same value. Excellent. So what we're going to do, because we know what it is, the slant height, the next step, we can calculate the area of the base. So beta, remember we said the area of the base of the square will be L at the second power. You know, the L represents the length, but actually the real formula that's supposed to use S that represents side, but we're changing the letter of the formula because we don't want to get it confused with the S of the surface area and S of the sides of the square. But, and what we're going to do, the main thing is replace the letter L by 30 inches. I mean, beta will be equal 30 inches elevated at the second power. Please avoid the mistake. You're going to think about it. 30 at the second power, I'm going to multiply 30 by 2, and that will be 60. And that will be a wrong answer. Remember, 30 at the second power, another way of saying is multiplying 30 times 30. So 30 at the second power will be 900. 900 what? Inches? No, that will be square inches, because the square unit affects the number and at the same time the unit. Okay, we know the value from beta. Now we have to looking for what will be the perimeter, the letter P. And because the perimeter is the perimeter of the square, remember, perimeter square, we can find out multiplying 4. Why 4? Because the square has 4 sides in the same length. I mean, 4 times L. For that reason, P that will be equal 4 times 30 inches. Okay, but that reason 4 times 3, that will be 12. And we can add the number 0 and we have inches. Okay, actually, the trick on this kind of topics, my dear students, is trying to looking for the pieces. I mean, identify what will be the shape of the base, to calculate the area of the base and the perimeter, and make sure that we have the slant height. If the problem at the beginning, we have the slant height, I mean the lateral height located over here, you don't need to calculate them, of course, but in this case, I'm just the most difficult problems in this case, where we have a picture in this situation, you don't have the slant height. Well, now we are prepared. We have beta, we have the perimeter, and we have the slant height. Now it's time to apply this formula, the surface area. Remember, surface area is represented by S equals beta plus 1/2 PL. I mean, S will be given by beta, remember, represents the area of the base. We still can conclude that will be 900 square inches plus 1/2. 1/2 what? The value of the perimeter. The value of the perimeter will be 120 inches, okay? And multiplying by the slant height, that will be 29.15 inches, okay? Well, at the moment, we're going to apply this formula just like this one in your calculator. Remember, 1/2, which, sorry, one 1/2 multiplying by 120 multiplying by 29.15, that result adding 900. And as soon as you can see, the final result gave us a whole number, coincidence, 2,649 square inches. And that will be the solution set of the problem. Well, in this case, that was a merely coincidence. It gave us at once the whole number, but just in case, the problem gave us 2,649.3. Okay, remember, we cannot round the whole number with the number 3, but after the decimal point, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that we're going to round the whole number. That will be, for example, 2,650. Okay, why? Because the instruction says round to the nearest whole number. Questions? Questions? Or everything?
Mister, I have one.
Yeah, go right ahead.
On the triangle, not on the pyramid, on the triangle, from where did you get the measurements?
Can you see the picture of the problem?
Yes,
Yeah,
from
if
where did you get the,
the measure, if you see, we have these two red lines, like a shape of the letter L, right? And can you see the black lines, Analia?
yeah.
So for that reason, the problem gave us already 25 the height and the base that will be 15. So I'm telling you, in this case, either if the problem never gave us the measure of the base of the inner triangle always, 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 well, I'm going to copy over here. The base, like us, there is, right? The base of the triangle always, always, always will be the half value of the base of pyramid. Okay, Analia? Just in case the problem gave us the height, don't forget that this red base, the base of the inner triangle, will be always the half value of the base of the pyramid. What is the measure of the base of the pyramid, or this length? What is the measure, Analia?
30 inches.
30. What is the half value? 30.
15.
15. That's why we had the 15. Understood?
Yay, thank you.
Okay, my pleasure. So, and this is going to be the solutions and how we can calculate the volume of the pyramid. Okay. Now let's going to solve the volume of the cone. I don't know if may I change the camera view or not yet. Let me know when you finish to copy that problem. I'm going to draw the picture of the cone in the other side of the whiteboard because that will be, we're going to have a better sight. Okay. Why we have a cone over here? Well, for obviously reasons, because this geometric picture has a shape of the cone. That's why the name on that cone. Okay. So, Oish, ayun. And we have the measure 16 inches over here. And this is going to be a value of 64. May I change the camera view, guys? Or not yet? ¿Puedo cambiar la cámara?
Yes.
Okay, then. So in the second side of the whiteboard, we have the same picture of the cone. Well, I'll draw in a part because I don't want it to get confused how to calculate that surface area of this cone. Actually, the formula for the surface area of the cone, so as you can see in your notes, is that will be given by beta plus pi RL, where pi, you know, is the constant value that's supposed to be 3.1416, R represents the radius, and beta represents the area of the base. For obviously reasons, always in the cone, the area of the base, that will be the area of the circle. For that reason, we can restructable this formula. Instead to write beta, if you wish, we can write a formula like area of the circle that will be pi r square, square r, square radius, plus pi RL, okay? Both formulas will be the same. Okay, what will be the difference? The difference will be between the first one and the second one. And the second one, the only thing that you have to do is replace those values and you're going to get the answer. Okay, but what we have to do in this case? Obviously, the first thing that we have to do in this problem is try to looking for what will be the value from the slant height. And what will be this slant height? The slant height will be the lateral sides of this cone. I mean, located over here. This orange line that we have in this situation. Well, actually, this picture is not drawing like scale, right? But basically, the main idea you have to make sure is the slant height of the cone will be the lateral side of the cone. What we have to do like a first step. First step, make sure we have the right triangle, the right triangle located over here. So if you wish, we can draw a right triangle over here. It's an option, but if you wish, we can working in this situation. Okay, wish. So we draw the right triangle, as soon as you can see, right? And we can draw the measures. The measure, remember, this is going to be the radius that will be the distance between the center to any point of the circle. So we have 60 inches over here. And of course, the base of this triangle that will be 64 inches. What we are looking for, we are looking for the hypotenuse of this right triangle. So the function hypotenuse in this right triangle will be the slant height. Okay, in simple merely words. To tell you the truth, this is one of the most complicated problems here we to find out in this section, because the most of them, you're going to have the picture of the cone and you're going to have the slant height. And the most complicated thing is trying to look for what will be the slant height. Well, remember how we can find out the slant height. Pythagorean theorem, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. What we have to do, simple, we're going to replace those values. I mean, instead to say C, I'm going to tell L squared equals A represents the smaller side of the circle. Well, sorry, of the circle, the triangle. My mistake. In the smaller one will be 60. 60 inches, second power. Plus the another one will be 64. Just for mentally order, right? But remember, in the addition, the order of the factors doesn't affect the final result in the addition of the product. Remember, community property. So we have 60 in the second power plus 64 second power. The answer will be 7,696. 7,696 square inches. Why square inches? Because remember, we have adding values from the square, but we don't want to apply or looking for what is the value L square. We're looking for the value from L. For that reason, we're going to take square root in both sides to eliminate the square values, and obviously the inner number will be taking the square root, okay? For that reason, the slant height of this cone will be the square root of this value will be 87.73. 73 inches. All right. We are fully prepared because we know already what will be the value from the slant height, okay? And because we know what will be the value of the slant height, we are fully prepared to try to looking for what will be the surface area. So as soon as you can see in this problem, the only thing that you have to do, my strong recommendation, I have a question over here. Mr. ¿Usted va a sacar los ejercicios del examen? Obviously, Camila, this is not the first time I'll doing. Remember, that's why we have a main purpose to give us the worksheets, right? Just to tell you already, the exam, I'm going to take a few examples of the worksheet. Well, a few exercises to tell you the truth. Okay. All right. Just what I'm saying, the only thing that we have to do in this case, we must replace in the second formula. It will be easier for us because you don't need to extend the problem. So what will be the idea? S will be given by pi. Instead to use radio, remember the value of the radio on the circle will be 60 inches at second power plus pi parentheses 60 inches, and the slant height will be 87.73 inches. Meanwhile, treat the pi value like a variable. All right. Just at the end, we can multiply the final result with pi. Okay. So surface area will be 60 at the second power will be 3,600 pi square inches. Just to explain you already. Meanwhile, treat the pi value like a variable. Okay. And another one, 60 times 87.73. So the second value will be 5,263.8 inches times inches square inch, pi square inches. Okay. Now what we have to do, applying like terms, we can add this value plus 3,600, and that will be 8,863. 8,863.8 pi square units. Well, this is the moment of truth because we are simplifying the whole expression. Well, now we can multiply this answer if you wish using the constant value 3.1416, or use your calculator and apply the pi symbol. I'm going to show you how we can do that in the in your calculator. Hold on a second. Hold on. Just hold on a second. Let me looking for the calculator over here. Okay, let me share screen. And we have that calculator. Okay. Can you see the calculator?
Yes.
All right. So remember the value in that whiteboard, that's supposed to be 8,863.8. Okay. Okay. That one now, because we have the value, we can push once the shift button and this scientific notation that will say x times 10 to the x power. If you see, we have a yellow marker that represents the pi value. You're going to see the pi symbol. Push the equal button, and we have this fraction. Just like a kind of crazy, right? When you have this fraction, push the standard decimal. I mean this as the button. We get it over here, and the final result will be 27,000 27,000, hold on, 27,000, 846, 846.44 or 45, actually, as a matter of speaking, okay? And the answer will be square inches. All right, this is the way you have to perform your calculator if you wish, or you can multiply that answer using the constant value. But remember the instructions. The instructions mention hold the answer to the nearest whole number. We round the answer into decimal points, okay? But if you see the first decimal point before the round, the number 5, that was the number 4. And because if you really want to round in the next whole number, the number was not supposed to be after the first, after the decimal point, that will be between 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If you don't have those numbers, the answer in this situation, we can take it like a 27,846 square inches. We'll leave the answer and this one because the problem says round the answer into the whole number. Questions? Questions?
Sir, can you hear me?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Barely, but I can hear you.
Oh wait, let me change my audio.
I can hear you, but it's supposed to be increase the volume or
Can you hear me
probably,
now?
yeah, better.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had to change another. Is that I'm understanding, but I just wanted to tell you that Giovanni has been waiting since 7:05, and yes.
7:05, but in this case, I don't see in the waiting room, Giovanni. At the moment you're going to, now I have 2 students in the waiting room. I can see a Gabriel Perez and Santa Sauceda, but I can see a Giovanni. And at the moment when any students is that supposed to enter or they're supposed to be in the waiting room, remember Zoom has starting with the yellow light, turning on, off, and telling me someone is in the waiting room. All right, but remember we're starting class 7 o'clock. They're supposed to be ready. And at the moment we start the class, I cannot stop in the class because we have to be respectful for the rest of the students who's not supposed to be on time. And after we're finished to explain the first problem, we can start for doing that one. Okay. So what we have to do in this case, what we have to do in this case, well, actually have to waiting after the finish the problem. Okay. Well, questions about the class. Is everything clear how to calculate the surface area of the pyramid, the surface area of the cone? Questions? Or everything is clear?
Everything is clear.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you finish to copy that one. Okay. And the third problem, we can try to calculate the, now I can see Giovanni, but until today, 7:35, 5 minutes before the class ended. I'm going to admit that, but this is not the right hour that's supposed to be presenting the class. Okay. May I change the camera view? ¿Puedo cambiarla? All right. Yep. Yes.
¿Puede leer el mensaje que le mandé, por favor?
Yeah, I can read that one, but you don't want to read in with the entire class, right? But I read it all. I read already.
Okay.
Okay, then. So in the problem number 3, we have this picture, the sphere, right? And the problem mentioned if the area of this sphere is 750 square centimeters, find the volume, find the value of the radius. Remember the radius that's supposed to be the distance between the center. This is going to be the center for any point. I mean, the radius could be horizontal, vertical, slant. It doesn't matter. Remember the sorry, definition of radius is the distance between the center to any point of the circle. We can label that one like a radius. Okay. So what we have to do in the area of the surface area of the sphere is easier for us at the moment we're going to apply that formula. Remember the area that will be equal 4 times pi multiplied by the square radius. Because 4 pi is multiplying, passes to divide because we're looking for the value from the radius. I mean area divided by 4 pi, that will be square value of the radius. And remember, we don't want to looking for what will be the value from radius square. I'm looking for the value from radius. For that reason, I'm going to take square root in both sides, and we have the following formula. Area divided by 4 pi, that will be equal the value from radius. Okay, what we have to do, simple. Now, because we have solving final radius, the only thing that we have to do is replace those values. What will be the value of the area? Will be 750 square centimeters divided by 4 times 5. And that will be the value from the radius. How we can perform this situation in the calculator. If you have the standard calculator, I mean the Casio FX 350, obviously you have to divide 750 divided by open parentheses 4 pi close parentheses equal. And when you have this answer, push the button square root answer equal, and you got the answer. But if you have a scientific calculator just like this one, it's simple. It's simple using. Why? Because we can apply, actually, first of all, the fraction. And outside, if you see, I move the pad to the left side of the fraction and push the button. Oops, sorry. And push the button of the square root and at the same time the fraction. Okay. And I'm push the pad button to the left side and open parentheses. And after that, the outside, close the parentheses. What values I'm going to use? In the numerator, we have 750. Downward, open parentheses, 4 shift 5. Close parentheses. And as soon as you can see, we have the operation to solving at once, if you wish. Or I'm going to tell you how we can do that using the standard calculator in the same step. Okay, equal sign, we have 7.73. 7.73 will be centimeters. 7.73 centimeters. In this case, I'm not rounding in the whole number because the problem mentioned only is find a value of the radius. And I told you already, if the problem never said round the nearest 10 or round in the whole number, we're going to use the standard definition. I mean, we're going to use 2 decimal points after 2 numbers after the decimal point. And just in case you have the standard calculator, I'm going to show you what will be the process. Simple. 750, you're going to divide, open parentheses, 4, shift this power times 10x power, close parenthesis. And you have this answer. Now you're going to push square root, answer, and equal. And if you see, this is another way for solving this situation. Okay, 707.73 centimeters. And this is going to be the solution set of this problem. Okay, I know I have some questions. We have out of time. Please, if you have some time during the break time, please you can write me a message to WhatsApp. Okay, Marcela. I have a question for Marcela, and after that, Alexis. Okay, please send me a WhatsApp message during the break time. Okay. All right, because I am going to have 20 minutes free, and that will be a little bit relaxing in that situation. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your attendance. Have a great and wonderful day. Take care of yourself.
Bye,
Bye,
Mister.
Mr. You
Bye
too.
bye. Have a
good
great
day.
day. See you.
Mister,
Mm-hmm.
Mister, I have a question.
Yeah, Ana Lucia.
In the worksheet,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question in exercise. I don't know which one it is, but it's in the second page. Is that I only want to know what is the origin order form?
In the original order form.
Yeah.
Origin order form. Oh, yeah. Original order form is another way of saying, original order form is another way of saying the y intercept form. I mean, when you solve for y, this is another way of saying. You have to write the equation like, for example, y equals 2x plus 3. Just want to give you an example.
When I need to leave y like alone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then like when I like transform fx and all that, but I don't need it
Because
transform it.
remember at the moment going to transform fx, if I said write the equation in notation of function. If I said write the equation in notation of function, I'm going to change y by f dx. If I said write notation of function.
Okay, Mister, thanks.
Okay, see ya.